I knew that our marriage was bad.
Whenever Tiffany would bring up that our marriage is not right, it's horrible,
He would say, "You're just overreacting."
and I just chalked it up to her being dramatic.
For 17 years, Tiffany Bowman pleaded with her ambitious husband, Rick, to help around the house, spend time with their 4 kids, and with her. Nothing changed, and the couple fought all the time.
I felt completely unimportant, like he had a list of priorities and I was at the absolute bottom.
Rick says that's because he had a mistress, his work. Whether it was managing a sales team or serving as a part-time youth pastor, he spent long hours away from home.
I hate to say it, but I love my kids and I love my wife, but I loved my work more. There was a level of fulfillment and adoration I received from the success of my job.
I hated his computer and I hated his cell phone. If the phone rang or a text went off, it didn't matter if we were talking, he just stopped and picked up his phone.
In 2009, Rick reached his lifetime goal when he became a senior pastor at a church in Bellingham, Washington. That took even more of Rick's time from his family.
Being a pastor is 24/7. I mean, you have to allow room for that and time for that, and so I would justify it.
I just gave up. I just thought that it was always going to be terrible, that I was always going to be lonely, that I was always going to do everything.
Meanwhile, a friend of theirs, a married man, stepped in to fill the gap.
He would take the boys out and play catch with them in the yard. He would take them out for ice cream. He would mow the lawn. So the fact that he was doing all that stuff, I just felt like he cares about me.
Before Tiffany knew it, they were having an affair.
I knew it was wrong, but I was so unhappy.
Because he lived 2 hours away, they only saw each other on occasion. Still, they talked and texted often. The affair tormented Tiffany. Making it worse, she was a worship leader at church.
I was living such a double life that at night I would have a glass of wine. 1 glass turned into 2 glasses and turned into 3 glasses, and I was completely numbing out in the evening. I was in such disbelief at what I was doing, and yet I didn't stop.
The on-again, off-again affair lasted 3 years until finally, overwhelmed by guilt, Tiffany texted the man that it was over. Soon after, Rick got a phone call. It was the man's wife and Tiffany's best friend who had seen Tiffany's text.
That was when my world just shattered. I had never felt such betrayal. I just looked at her and I was like, "What are you thinking?" But I remember she looked at me and she said, "Well, now maybe you'll pay attention to me more."
That night, Rick left to stay at a friend's house. Neither he nor Tiffany could see a way out.
I just said, "This is so big, I don't even think God can fix this."
I didn't think that Rick would forgive me. Everything was just, my head was spinning. You know, what are we gonna do? How is he gonna leave me? Is he gonna take the kids? How could God forgive me for doing this? Like the most horrible thing. How could he forgive me? If you can fix this, Lord, please, please help us. Please forgive me. Please help. And that was all I could say that night.
Praying into the night, Rick realized the part he had played in their broken marriage.
I betrayed my wife just in a different way. My affair was with my work.
He says God also told him he could fix their marriage on one condition.
The Holy Spirit spoke to me and he said, "I can when I have willing hearts."
Later the next day, Rick went home.
And he told me that he loved me. And he told me that he forgave me. I couldn't comprehend why he would forgive me or why he would still love me.
While it took a lot of time, counseling, and tears for the couple to work out their differences, it was forgiveness through God's love that ultimately healed their hearts and their marriage.
When the Lord said, "You provide the heart, I'll provide the miracle," he wasn't just talking about the restoration of my marriage. He was also talking about the renewing of my mind, the renewing of my heart. Our encouragement to everybody is that, there is hope. There is absolute hope, especially when you have two people with willing hearts to just say, "Lord, make this happen. I'll do whatever."
I know how present and how miraculous and just what a good God he is, that he would come in and that he would save my family, that he would save my marriage.